What's up, YouTube land? Xeno Gaming here, and welcome back to episode number 26 of my F1 2021 My Team series. And today we have the home of Formula 1, the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. So looking forward to this one, and let's see if we can repeat that performance last time out, which we had at the Austrian Grand Prix, which was a third place finish. But it's going to be much more difficult to repeat that performance here at Silverstone because the AI are faster at Silverstone. I did say I was going to up the AI for Silverstone because I was running 103, where most of the series I've run 105, and then I forgot to do that. But that's okay. We will do that for Hungary, the next race. And honestly, I don't think it really matters here at Silverstone anyway because the AI are a little bit quicker at this track compared to other tracks, and it is because of the high speed corners. It seems that's where the AI make up most of their time compared to you, the player, in the high speed stuff. They're just able to take it a little bit quicker. So we're going to jump into qualifying here, and this is the first lap here in qualifying at Silverstone on a set of soft tyres, and this is the first lap of the run, and we do a 25.8. so we made a bit of a mistake at the last corner using a lot of curb, so we went for it again here, and we're going to gain a little bit of time here through the last corner, but not enough to put us to improve the lap time a lot. So we chuck on a new set of tyres here towards the end of the session. We're currently sitting in 19th. We want to be getting through to Q2. We've been qualifying terribly as of late. We get a terrible start to the lap by using a heap of curb, but now we're coming to turn 1, flat out through turn 1 and turn 2 quite easily, now into turn 3 village and the loop, 4th gear for turn 3, knocking it back down the 3rd for the loop, and short shifting to 4th, getting on the power nice and early, easily flat through turn 5, opening the DRS all the way up to 8th gear quite easily, and then looking for the 50 metre board to start braking for Brooklands and Luffield, 4th gear for both corners, and on the power as early as possible for the run to Cops. And we're only 800ths up on the lap so far, so not the improvements we're looking for or need as we go through Cops. A little short, barely a lift through there, slight lift. We gained a lot of time through there. Now through Maggots and Beckett's 8th gear, 7th. I like to go down the 5th gear and then get on the throttle as early as possible, and we did that much better compared to our previous times lapped, our best lap, and we're now 3/10 up heading into Stowe as we go 6th gear, chuck the car in there on the throttle as early as possible. Now into club, braking the start of the curb, back down the 3rd gear, using plenty of inside curb here, short shift to 4th, now getting on the power as soon as possible, not using too much curb here to unsettle the car, and that is our lap there at Silverstone, making up good time over the second half of the lap, doing a 1 minute 25.1, and that does get us through to Q2 by a 10th compared to Antonio Giovinazzi, who is knocked out in Q long, along with Russell, Raikkonen, Latifi, Schumacher and Mazepin. So we are through to Q2 for the first time in a few races, and so is Esteban Ocon. So we did the exact same time there, a 25.1, not exactly the same, but both in the 25.1, so the car, that seems to be about the pace of it. So first run in Q2 on a used set of softs, and just to get a siding lap in here, and we do a 1 minute 25.8, so used set of tyres go 7/10 slower, and then we do our second lap here, and we're half a second quicker, and we have a bit of a moment there. We lose about a 10th on the run to the line out of club, and that honestly though didn't cost us a position. We are only able to do a 24.54, which is only good enough for 16th. So that's where we'll line up on the grid for the British Grand Prix. So we'll run through the grid real quick here for the British Grand Prix, and Hamilton lines up on pole for his home Grand Prix with Bottas joining him on the front row, another all-Mercedes front row, which has been the norm this year, and the norm also has been an all-McLaren second row with an all-Red Bull third row, and then Leclerc and Sainz lock out the 4th row with Gasly and Vettel in 9th and 10th, Sonoda and Lundgaard in 11th and 12th, with Ocon, Stroll in 13th and 14th, myself in 15th and Giovinazzi in 16th, Russell and Raikkonen in 17th, 18th, Alonso 19th taking a penalty with Mazepin in 20th, and then it will be Latifi and Schumacher, who is also taking a penalty. But anyway, that's how the grid lines up for the British Grand Prix, and we're looking at a one-stop, soft to medium. It's quite simple, really. We're going to go for lap 11. But then, because you see, I've actually got selected the hard. That's what the default was, and I actually didn't realise that. I thought the default was the top one, not the bottom one. But yeah, so technically, as of now, my strategy is soft to hard. But then I actually didn't realise until it suggested me middle of the race to go to the medium. So luckily, I was able to pick that up, or else we would have jumped on the hard tyre. But yeah, anyway, enough of that nonsense. That's the strategy, soft to medium for this race. So anyway, let's get ready for the start of the British Grand Prix here in Season 2, 5 red lights. And let's go here at Silverstone, and Lundgaard gets a poor start. Stroll gets a decent start. He's already passed Lundgaard. We actually get a very average start ourselves. We're cautious here in the turn 1, not trying to knock off the front wing. And as we come into turn 3, we're going to go down the inside of Lundgaard, who's quite cautious behind Stroll. And now at turn 4, I'm going to try and drive around the outside of Stroll and get a run on him down towards Brooklands, but we're not able to go around the outside of him. He defends quite easily here on the opening lap, so we move up into 14th place, and teammate Ocon has got ahead of both Aston Martin cars here, which is good for us. So we're currently 11th and 14th here on the opening lap, and we'll see how this race now unfolds. So as we come through with the full tank of fuel going wide there at Copse, and then Lundgaard almost went up the inside. Actually couldn't fully go into the apex, or else there would have been contact. But now we're going to find that rhythm that I always talk about at the start of the race. Find a rhythm and just see how it all unfolds. See where the pace of our car and ourselves lie here today compared to Ocon, compared to the rest of the midfield, and see if we can get this car into the points. And we've got, remember, both Alpines are behind us as well, so that's a good sign early on in this Grand Prix, obviously. As we now move on to lap 6, where we've been stuck in a train behind Esteban Ocon, and Vettel is finally deciding to go for the move here up the inside at Club, around the outside at the final corner. He's now got the wrong way for turn 1. Stroll defends from me. Vettel tries to go up the inside of Ocon. Stroll goes right across the curb there. He did not get a good run, and we're going to have a look at the inside of Lance into turn 3 as Vettel does the same to Ocon. We're able to edge Stroll out and move into 13th. Vettel's still fighting with Ocon. I don't know which driver has the DRS. They're going side by side, and it seems Vettel has DRS, and he's now going to pull ahead here on the straight around the outside of Brooklands. He clears him before the corner is able to take the apex, so Vettel moves to 11th. I move into 13th, Ocon drops to 12th, and Stroll is now dropped to 15th, also behind Lundgaard. So Lundgaard taking advantage there of the Aston Martin. But now we're getting a good run compared to Ocon. We're picking up a really nice tow on the run to Copse, and he's got not the best line through that corner either, as he's a little bit defensive. So now we're right under his rear wing. Vettel's already gapped him by half a second here, and we're right behind Esteban. And we get a pretty good run here through the Maggots and Beckett's corners, and now we've got a DRS and a slipstream. Ocon also has DRS, but he hasn't got a slipstream as good as I do, right on Vettel. So we're going to go down the inside of Esteban Ocon here, and we're not quite alongside. He closes the door. There's a bit of contact, and now Lundgaard's going to look for an opportunity to get past us at the outside of Club. So and he's not able to do that, so we are able to retain the position. I thought we didn't have any damage, but as Ocon pitted on the previous lap, a few cars have already pitted. We're coming in here on lap 12, and you can see Vettel was about 2.7 seconds ahead, because he was able to gap us, that margin in a couple of laps, and we couldn't really get close to overtake Ocon again. So, and I didn't think, as Yuki Tsunoda unfortunately is out of the Grand Prix, bad timing for him. At this point, I'm hoping that a safety car is thrown, but nothing is thrown. And then I see the front wing in my mechanic's hand. I'm like, so I obviously picked up a little bit of damage from that contact with Ocon. and this pit stop is really going to hurt us here.
Exit now. You'll be racing as you leave the pits. Release, release.
We've dropped a position to Giovinazzi in the pit lane, but we're also going to drop a position to Lundgaard, to our teammate Ocon. Actually, Ocon was already ahead of us. Russell gets past, Raikkonen gets past as well. Alonso would have got past for sure. Actually, that's the other car. And we get ahead of Stroll, who is a lot further back than where he should be as well. And we're going to defend him out the pit lane here. And we have a huge slide on the active Stroll, a huge opportunity. And he almost runs into us as we were parked in the apex at turn 5. So he didn't really have an opportunity to get past us. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened to him. He maybe had a front wing change as well. We now go down the inside of Raikkonen here into turn 3, but we're not close enough. But we're just letting him know we're there. We're on fresh mediums. I mean, he's on a pretty fresh medium as well. But ours are obviously slightly fresh up, maybe by a lap or two. And we get a really good run out of on the Wellington straight here. And we go down the inside of Raikkonen and the inside line. And we take away 16th place from him. So next up is Antonio Giovinazzi. We have a nice slide on, moving later in the lap. And Giovinazzi's actually going to have a go at George Russell. He got to the inside. He's got the line, has Giovinazzi. There's contact between the two, Russell and Giovinazzi. That gives Russell a chance to go and keep up a little bit of momentum. But I'm looking for a way past. Currently, these two guys are blocking the track. I go for a up and under kind of move, a switchback, and almost run into the back of Russell. Now get to the inside. The game thinks I touched him. I don't think I did, though. But now, as we break here into turn 3, we get right up to the back of George. And I'm sensing an opportunity here into turn 4. We're going to go down the inside of Russell into turn 4. And he just drives right into us. I mean,
the bodywork's taken a few scrapes. Try not to make it any worse.
Thanks, Jeff. Not really my fault there. Russell completely turned in on us, which is really, really annoying. So now, anyway, we get to 15th, but we've got some damage now to our side pod. So we've been in the wars here today. And this is the same lap as we're following Giovinazzi, and we're within the DRS, but the car completely feels different in the corners. It just felt lighter and felt like really loose on the rear. But it felt like it actually had more turn-in, strangely enough. So that was quite a good thing. But with DRS, we actually get alongside Giovinazzi and beat him to the apex at Stowe and move into 14th place. But now having a look at a replay here into this crazy battle into turn 1, all up the inside here. I backed out of that, sensing an accident. And then decided to go again here at turn 4. Got plenty of good mid-corner grip and a good exit out of turn 3. Go at the inside in turn 4, and Russell, yeah, it just turns into us. So not really much I could do about that. The AI just need to have better awareness at that stage, and he needs to not turn into that corner. As we now move to lap 18, though, I'm trying to catch up on, but then make a mistake here, and Giovinazzi's past us here. And then he gets a really, goes really slowly. I mean, we're using overtake and stuff, but we're able to go around the outside at turn 1. We're still side by side with him through 2. And then he really goes slow there. And we're able to get past him. And so is George, actually. So not sure why. It looked like he just braked. I don't know if he got scared because we're side by side. As we go a little bit wide. And Russell was sensing opportunity. But we're able to hold on until all the way up to lap 24. We haven't really been in a battle with Russell. He's been in our DRS. That's how he's kind of just hanging on to this half a second gap. I was starting to get used to the car. And I was closing the gap to Ocon down to 3.2 seconds, but through the S's I make a huge blunder. I get on the throttle way too early, or way too harshly I should say, and we spin the car and we drop 3 places back to 17th position. So all that hard work was erased, unfortunately, and Lewis Hamilton is going to come around to win this Grand Prix, another British Grand Prix victory for Hamilton. We're going to come home and finish in 17th. 17th place. A terrible day at the office, unfortunately. Fernando Alonso wins driver of the day. He started from 19th on the grid, so not shocked to see him win it. Hamilton wins the Grand Prix. Bottas second and Norris in third. So, great result for Mercedes. Another one to add to their strong season. Ocon finishes in 13th. Alonso finishes in 10th, so he picks up a point for Alpine. But it's a bit of Noah's Ark for the first 6 cars, and then Gasly is able to beat Sainz to break up that trend in 8th. Sonoda the only retirement from this Grand Prix, and we just didn't have a good pace today in this one. And we obviously lost a lot in the pit stop with the front wing change and then the side pod damage. So, not a great race, unfortunately. Really average pace-wise, really average overall, and then a poor finish with that mistake. So, but I guess I'd rather make a mistake when we're sitting 14th out of the points and compared to being in the points, and costing us points. So anyway, moving on, we've got to re-sign Esteban Ocon here after this Grand Prix, and we go for the medium risk here. It's the same 7.1 million, which is the same as his demands. So that's what I thought would be good. I thought he would accept this, no problem. So send in demands. He declined it, and I was like, okay, we had a few days here to negotiate, so we go again on the next day with Ocon, and we'll go for the medium again, because it's now 7.2 million above his demands. I thought, yeah, he'll accept this, no problem, I thought. And then as we went through, he declines this contract offer as well. So we went through again, and now it's 7.3, the medium risk offer. So I thought, I'll go for medium again, because it's another extra $100,000 for Ocon. So I went for this medium risk again, and again Esteban declined. So the last day of the contract negotiations, my last chance with Ocon, I just went with low risk. I didn't want to risk losing him, even though the demands were increasing on them all the time, and we've ended up probably overpaying for Esteban Ocon at 7.7 mil, but it is what it is. And now coming to development, we're going to get a major front and rear downforce development. We had a lot of resource points after the British Grand Prix, and I think a major upgrade to front and rear downforce could be huge. It's going to take a few races to develop, but when it does, I think it could be really good. We've also going to simulate forward now, and we get that durability and engine upgrade. We also get the facility upgrade. We did it the last episode, and now we will head into the Hungarian Grand Prix. And I love racing in Hungary. I just really always have enjoyed this track, and hopefully we can pick up some points in Hungary and be a little bit more competitive compared to what we were in Silverstone. So anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like on it. It would mean a lot to me. Subscribe to the channel for more F1 2021, my team, and comment your feedback down in the comments section below. But anyway, guys, until the next video, I will see you then. Till then, goodbye.